Hari Om. So today we're going to be doing yoga for the back, for back pain, for strengthening the back. So before you see this class, it's important that you look at the yoga for back pain class and also yoga for the upper back, neck and shoulders. So this session that we're going to be doing is basically to cover the other asanas and movements that haven't been covered yet that we use for back pain. Basically, when we're looking at back pain, now you've done your lectures already on back pain, spinal problems and all of that. Basically, when we're going to be doing the yoga class, we want to make sure that we're going to be relaxing the muscles, so especially the muscles of the back and the neck, but we also want to be strengthening the back, the abdominal muscles, the pelvic floor, but we have to do this slowly. Then we also want to be relieving tension, so relaxation of the muscles, but also relaxation of the mind, because if our mind is more relaxed, then automatically our body is more relaxed. So there's quite a few things that we want to be incorporating in our class. And if someone is coming and their back pain is very severe, then you're going to be really quite limited with what kind of movements you do to start with, because you want to focus on rest and relaxation. After a while, then you can slowly start building up with different types of practices. So when their back pain is starting to decrease, or if they have a tendency to back pain, but they don't have it right now, but they need to strengthen their back, then some of the practices we do today are going to be very helpful. Often when someone is starting to improve with their back pain, they want to dive straight into all the regular practices, and then it gets worse again. So it's really important that they build up very slowly and do practices that are specifically helpful for their back. So let's get started by sitting in a comfortable position, any kind of cross-leg pose, or you can sit in Bhujangasan, the thunderbolt. We're going to be bringing our hands into Dhyana Mudra, keeping your spine upright, closing your eyes gently. Relax your shoulders, relax your back. Your head is upright, relax your face. Taking a deep breath in and out, and again in and out. Just allowing your body to relax here. Notice how it's feeling. And now, as you inhale, remember your resolve, your sankalpa. You may have a personal one. And exhale, relax. And we're going to chant 3 Oms and the Guru Mantra. Inhale. Om. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmaye Shri Gurave Namaha, Gurave gently opening your eyes, releasing your hands. So we've done quite a few practices in those other 2 videos, and you've been doing the other classes already. So the practices we're going to do today are ones that haven't been covered yet and are going to be most helpful for the back. Now, one thing is the arm movements. Now, in our back pain class, we did them in standing position, which is really good. But for some people, they need to lay down in supine position because it's just too strong for them to be standing. Because when you are standing, you need to use all of your muscles of your spine, your back, to maintain your position. And if it's very severe, then they need the floor as a support. So that's where, you know, all these kind of movements from the floor can be really, really helpful because the back can have a little bit of relaxation. The one thing about the arm movements in supine is that if it is really severe, sometimes they might still need to bend their knees. So we're going to just do a revision of the arm movements in supine to start with. So laying down on your back, we have the palms facing upwards, and then we're slowly inhaling, raising our arms above our head, one hand on top of the other. Exhale, relax. Now inhale, stretch your arms and your legs. So pointing your toes, stretch your arms a little away and relax. Exhale. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, relax. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, relax. Now inhale and exhale, slowly bringing your arms back. So that's type 1. Now we can do it with the knees bent, but we won't get the full stretch, but we'll still get something. Alright, the next one is type 2. So you can just have your feet apart a little, and now inhaling, raising the arms. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And here we're trying to put our hands onto the ground. If we can't get our hands onto the ground and it's like this, that's okay. It just means that if we can do that, we can get a little bit more stretch into the shoulders, particularly into the triceps. And then from here, we're going to inhale, stretch, and point the toes, exhale, relax. Inhale, stretch, exhale, relax. Inhale, stretch, exhale, relax. Now inhale, raising your arms up, and exhaling down. Okay, now moving to type number 3. So bringing the arms a little away, palms facing upwards. Inhale, raising your arms up over your head, and exhaling, pressing the arms over as much as is comfortable, and exhaling, bring the arms down by the side. Okay, the other way. Inhale, press your arms over, and exhaling down from the side. So this is quite a good one to have the knees bent because it's more for the upper back, the chest, the shoulders, and we're not getting that stretch that's there with the whole spine. So we'll do that one more time with our knees bent, just so you can try the different option. So inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And relax. Okay. Rolling to the side, coming up to sitting position. So when someone is having back pain, we're not immediately going to sit up because it can be too strong on the back. So rolling over to the side and sitting up is going to be much more helpful for them. Okay, so the arm movement we just lifted our hands and arms a little bit off the ground and raised them. However, if someone is really having difficulties, they're very new to yoga, they've got lots of different physical problems happening with them, they might need to keep the arms on the ground as a support. Also taking account that for some people they won't have a lot of rotation in their shoulders, so they might not be able to have that movement properly. So you're just going to do whatever is possible for them. And the other thing is that for some people, when they lay down on their back isn't on the ground in a very comfortable manner. Of course, everyone's lower back is going to have an arch in it, but for some people, they're a little bit hunched in their back, so they're in a really strange position to lay down. So they might need a little bit of support, a little bit of padding. For some people, also their head is going to be tilted really far back. Okay, so especially if they hunch a lot, when they lay, they won't be able to comfortably have their neck straight. So you might have to put some kind of cushioning under their head, under their neck, to make them comfortable. And one of the other things which is really important in yoga therapy is you're always getting feedback. So you're checking how they're feeling as they're coming into a practice, like as they're doing the movement, when they're releasing it, when they're coming into an asan, when they're holding it, when they're releasing, and how they're feeling afterwards. So always check, how is that? Does that feel comfortable for you? So that you're building with your understanding of themselves and their body, but they're also starting to understand how they're feeling. Because a lot of what we do as yoga teachers is build awareness. And a lot of people who are having back pain, you say, okay, you're having back pain, do you know what it was that caused the problem? Say it was a normal yoga class, and they'll go, no, I don't know. Because they just did the pose after pose after pose, and they weren't really thinking about it. They weren't paying attention to how they were feeling when they released the pose, or that time after releasing. So it's really important to build that awareness with the practice for every part of the practice. Okay, so now we're going to move to knee movement 3. So you've done number 2 and number 4 and 5 in the back pain class. So we're going to do number 3 now. Number 3 is, you may have already done it, but number 3 is good for back pain because it can give quite a lot of relief in the sacral region. And some people who are having sacroiliac pain, which is quite common in yoga teachers, interestingly, this can give a lot of relief. So they don't want to do a lot of leg opening, they want to do practices like this one. So let's do this. Now I'm sure there'll be a revision for many of you, but still we'll practice it. So coming down very slowly, we're going to bend our knees. And we can have our arms over our head, holding our wrists. We can also hold our elbows, but because we're doing yoga therapy, we may have to keep it a little simpler. So now my knees are bent. I want my feet to be at least hip width apart or a little bit more, because if they're not far enough apart, you're not going to be able to do the stretch. Okay, so from here, I'm going to slowly bring my right knee down towards my left ankle, and wherever you can get to is fine, it doesn't have to be touching, and then pressing my left thigh against my right thigh. Okay, I don't want it to be over here, this is different. I want to be having that pressing effect. Okay, so we're pressing, we could just breathe normally for a moment, and release. Now the other side, so slowly bringing your left knee down towards your right ankle, and then press your right thigh against your left. Normal breathing. Trying to relax in this position, and release. Okay, so this is our knee movement type 3. Now bringing your legs down. The next practice we're going to do is one that will help to strengthen the core. If a person is having really strong back pain, then we won't do this one yet, but if they're starting to improve and they want to start doing some strengthening, then this can be a nice one. So this is Ekapada Uttanpadasana, the one leg raise pose, but with support. So we're going to have our left knee bent, so our foot is on the ground, our hands are by our sides, palms facing down. We just exhale and inhaling, raising up. This is all we're doing, just that simple movement. Inhale and then exhaling down. We can do it as a movement or we can hold it. Okay, so inhale. When our knee is bent, it just takes that pressure off the back. So you're strengthening the core, but it's not in a really intense way. Of course, you're still going to build up very slowly. Okay, this time we're going to hold it. So inhale, raising our leg up and breathing normally. And you can just press your lower back into the mat. Keep the face relaxed. Now inhale and exhaling, coming down. Okay, and we'll swap over. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and this time inhale, and we're going to hold it, breathing normally, pressing your lower back down into the floor. You can also apply a little bit of Mula Bandha here to strengthen the pelvic floor. Now inhale and exhale down. Okay, one other option is to have the knees bent and then extending one leg and then bending the knee. Okay, so you can also experiment with this. Okay, so let's do it one more time. So extending, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Relax. Okay, rolling to your side, coming up to sitting. One of the important things in yoga therapy is that you always experiment with variations. Now, some people say, oh, but I don't need to do that kind of thing anymore. But if you want to be a good yoga therapist, you want to make sure that you understand how it feels, how it can be different, all these different types of variations. So always experiment with all the different options that we're going to be giving you so that you really get a feel of how it is. Now, the next practice we're going to do is Ardetra, the half wheel pose. Now, the first version is in the back pain class. And that's the one I use the most for back pain. But if the back pain has now reduced a lot and they're just having very mild back pain, then you can start to increase the intensity of the first version, or you can do the next option. But as I said, most of the time you're going to stick with number one. But later on, especially when they're starting to feel good and they say, oh, can I just do something a little bit stronger? These are the options that you can give, but you'll be able to see very clearly if they're ready to do it. So I'm going to show you and we'll practice it. So we're laying down, we're bending our knees, we're bringing our arms over our head, holding your wrists or your elbows. And type 1, we can start with our feet apart, so we exhale and inhaling up. And it's helpful to do this as a movement to begin with. So we've inhaled and then we exhale, come down. So I always start this as a movement, then I get them to start maintaining it. And most of the time, if someone doesn't have very good core strength, then they won't be able to hold it for very long. So that's where you need to work just with type 1. If they're able to hold it and it's comfortable and they're not shaking or starting to drop their pelvis, then you can move to type 2 and eventually type 3. So I'll show you them. Now, we've got our feet apart. When we want to advance in the practice, we can have our feet together. But feet apart is much easier on the back. So here's my feet together. We inhale, lift. So this is type 1. Now I'm going to move to type 2. So extending the leg. So my knees are together, they're supporting each other. It's not like this, That's something else. Okay, this is type 2. And then bending the knee, lowering the bottom. Okay, so it is a little bit stronger on the core because you've got one of the legs raised. So I'll show you type 3. So we exhale, inhale, lifting, okay. Exhaling, extending, okay. Breathe normally here, and then lifting up the ankle. So it's a little stronger again. Again, keep the knees together, breathing normally, and now releasing, heel down, leg down, and bottom down. There is a tendency to just drop everything down, but you're aiming eventually to be able to do it in this way. Okay, so this is the different types. So now what you can do is you can practice them. Okay, so come onto your back, have your knees bent. We'll have our feet together because you've already done the first one. We'll move straight into number 2 and then number 3. Okay, so exhale, inhaling, lift. Exhaling, extending your left leg. Breathing normally. Now if this is okay, lifting your heel. Normal breathing. Now slowly releasing, heel down, bending your knee and lowering your bottom. Okay, and of course when you're doing this you are going to be having to activate the glutes a little bit, so tightening your bottom. Alright, let's try on the other side. So exhale, inhale, lifting. Exhaling, lengthening the leg and lifting the heel. Okay, lowering your heel down, leg down, and bottom down. Okay, one more time. So inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, extending. Lifting up your heel. If it's comfortable, keep the knees together. Breathing normally and lowering your heel down, foot down, and bottom down. Okay. Bringing your arms back down. Now the next practice we're going to do is Karna, the bridge pose or the shoulder pose. So this is just a little bit more of a back bend because Ardha Chakrasana, though it's known as half wheel, it's not really a back bend. So here we want to have our feet apart. Now you can either have your palms facing down, or if it's comfortable you can hold the ankles. Remembering that a lot of people can't actually reach their ankles, so whatever is possible. Okay, so here I'm going to show without the ankles to begin with. So all we're going to be doing is exhale and inhale, lifting. Now here's where I was with Ardha Chakrasana, but I can lift a little bit higher, so it's a little bit more of a back bend. Here you want to press down with your hands, and you're contracting your bottom a little bit here. Breathing normally. Now inhale and exhaling, lowering your bottom down. We'll do it holding the ankles as well, for those that feel comfortable to do it. So holding your ankles, exhale, inhaling, lifting, and you might want to bring your shoulder blades towards each other. Normal breathing. And release. Okay, so this is Karna. Roll to your side and sitting up. Now what we're going to be doing is moving into the prone position. We're going to start with the Bhujangasan Series, the Cobra Series. Now you'll always hear, oh yeah, Cobra, it's really good for the back. And yeah, it is, but not when you've got strong back pain. So we start with the simple versions. We start with the easy Cobra position, we start with the Sphinx pose, and then we slowly build up over a period of time. We don't immediately go into the straight arm cobra position. But when the back has improved, we can, start these different variations of cobra. So I'm going to show you some of them, and you can do them with me. So let's come into the prone position. So laying on your belly, chin on the mat, palms facing down, and our heels together if possible. From here, we're going to put our hands above our head. Okay, so our forehead goes down and our hands are above our head. So the practice we're going to do is Shiro, Hasta, Bhujangasan. Shiro is head, Hasta is arm, Bhujanga is cobra. Okay, so we put our forehead down, exhale, inhaling slowly, raising our body up. So you can see with my spine that I am having a back bend, but it's not as strong as, say, the straight arm cobra position. Now I can keep looking forward. If I want to increase it, I can look up, okay? But that is going to be stronger. So start with looking forward. Now experiment looking up and then back to forward, breathing normally. Now from here we're going to inhale and exhaling, releasing. Forehead down, and we're going to move our hands next to our ears. We're going to do Karna, Hasta, Bhujangasan. So our forehead down, exhale, inhaling, lifting. Okay. And you can have the heels together, or if it's a little hard, keep the feet apart, looking forward and breathing normally. So this is a position that many people naturally move into if they've got back pain. So instead of bending their elbows when they're in normal cobra, they just slide their hands forward. So this is an easier version to practice. So breathing normally, you can look up if it's comfortable. Now inhale and exhale, slowly bringing your forehead down and chin on the mat. Once they're used to this, then you can go for the other types of cobra. So we've got the one next to the shoulders that we do, Skanda Hasta Bhujangasan. Then we have Saro Hasta Bhujangasan, and we also have Kati Hasta Bhujangasan, which is hands next to the waist. So those can be built on with later on. Okay, so this is some of the cobras. Now what we're going to do is the half locust position. So you've learnt the regular locust. You've also learnt the half version. I'm going to show you a version which is a supported version. So we're laying down. Now here, remember with the half locust that you can just lift the leg, but just a little bit. Okay. The supported version, there's a few variations. One is that we just put a bolster under the leg and stay there, so that the body can relax, the muscles can relax. Because you'll see with the practices that we're doing, some of the practices we're trying to strengthen, so we might be trying to lift our body up, and other times we're putting our body in a different position where we want to be relaxing the muscles. So it's very hard to relax them when you're doing, say, a half locust position, but if it's supported, you're able to relax a bit more. So this is another version where we bend our knee, we lift up our leg and place our knee on it. Now it looks like it's really advanced, but actually it's supported. So many people are very happy with it. You can bring it a little further down, okay? But generally around the knee is a good option. So have a go. And release. On the other side, so bending your knee, lifting your leg, breathing normally. Now we know we can also do Adavasan, the regular version, where we're just lifting. We inhale, lifting our left leg. So here I'm just showing you a little. I'm not showing you really high. Breathing normally. And exhale. Other side, inhale. Breathing normally. And exhale. Okay, so the next practices I'm going to show you are, again, when the back is healing and you want to start doing more and more different types of back bends, which are going to be helpful for strengthening the back, but it can be a little difficult to achieve them at this point. So for example, if we want to do Nalkasan, the boat pose, now it can be a bit strong, but we can do the half version. So the half version is known as Arda Nalkasan. So you can do it with me. Bring your arms in front, kind of like Superman. Forehead down. Now exhale, inhale, lifting. Okay, so I'm just lifting my arm and my leg of my left side. And I'm breathing normally and my right side is on the ground. Okay, and I'm trying to lengthen at the same time. Now inhale, exhale, release. Inhale, right side, breathing normally. Now if I want to increase the intensity, I can wrap my other arm behind. And eventually I can also lift the other leg. But we've got back pain here, so we're doing it very slowly. Inhale and exhale, release. So this is Arda Nalkasan, the half boat. Now we're going to do the diagonal boat, Tiriyak Nalkasan. So exhale, inhale, lifting your right leg and your left arm. Breathing normally. And exhale, release. Inhale, your right arm, your left leg. And how high you raise it is just up to you. Breathing normally. Now inhale and exhale down. One more time. Exhale, inhale. So your right leg and your left arm, breathing normally. And exhale. Inhale, right arm, left leg. And exhale. Okay. Now we've done the half boat, the diagonal boat. Now we're going to do the half bow pose. Dhanurasana, Ardha Dhanurasana. Okay, so from here we're going to bend our left leg, holding our ankle, forehead down, exhale, inhale, lifting, and breathing normally. Okay, so just lifting as high as it's comfortable to go. Eventually, when they're used to it, you can raise the rest of the body. But we're just preparing them so they'll be able to achieve this. Now inhale and exhale down. And this is also something you can think about for different health conditions, like if you've got someone with diabetes. Now, Dhanurasana is very good for them, but they probably can't do it. So you can build up with all these different types of movements and variations over a period of time. Okay, bending the right knee. Exhale, inhale, lifting, and breathing normally. Now inhale and exhale, down and release. So that's Ardha Dhanurasana. Now we'll do Tiriyak Dhanurasana, the diagonal bow. So again, bending your left leg, holding your heel with your right arm. Exhale, inhale, lifting, breathing normally. Inhale and exhale down. Swapping over. Exhale, inhale, lifting, into Shavasana. Sorry, not Shavasana, Bhujangasan. Just allowing the body to relax. And slowly coming up. Okay, so we've done the cat pose before, Mudra Asan. We've also done the variation on the cat where we're raising one arm and one leg, which is very helpful for strengthening the core, lengthening the spine. Now we're going to do Vyagrasan, the tiger pose. So you've also done this, so we'll just have a short practice, but this is helpful for realigning the spine and also for the strengthening of the core. So our knees are apart, our hands are apart. Now slowly we're going to lift our leg up, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And swapping over. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and coming back. So this is the tiger pose. The next position we're going to do is Uttan Prishtasan, which is the lizard pose, or some people call it puppy pose, which sounds much nicer. So coming onto our hands and knees, you can have your knees a little bit apart, hip width apart. Now elbows onto the ground, holding your elbows and walking your elbows a little away. You're going to try and bring your chest downwards and your chin to touch the ground. So this is good for the upper back especially. If you can't get the chin to the ground, you can go for the forehead. It's a little slightly different stretch. Okay, and here we want to make sure that our thighs are kind of vertical. If we don't bring our arms far enough away, if we're like this, you'll see I'm kind of just doing a child's pose with my bottom up. So I want to walk my elbows away and come down and breathe normally. And release. Okay, so next we're going to move into the Vajrasan series. Now you've done the regular Vajrasan series, but we're going to put some additions into that. Okay, there's lots of things that you can add to it. Some things are going to be really beneficial for mild versions of back pain, and some are going to be a little stronger. So things that can be added to when their back has improved a lot. Okay, so you can do it with me. So from Vajrasan, so coming to the front of your mat. Okay. Bringing your hands down. So we inhale. So remember you're pressing your belly down towards your thighs so you can get that arch. And breathe normally. Now our variation, I'm going to move quickly into the variations. We inhale, exhale, look over our shoulder towards our hip. Inhale to the front. Exhale, other side. Inhale to the front, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Okay, now coming down. So a regular version, our knees are together and we're walking our elbows further away from our knees. But our variation, and sometimes you might choose a variation or you might do both of them. Okay. This time we're going to have our knees further apart. And this is a nice one for opening up the pelvis more. It's nice for when a woman is pregnant and she has back pain, or a woman is menstruating and she has back pain. So we stay here, breathing normally. Okay. Bringing the knees together again. This time we're going to bring one leg back. Now you already know this position, so I'm going to move into the next versions. So starting with the hands on the ground, so we can just stay like this. So it's just a little bit stronger on our back. Okay, keep the chest open, you can look up. If that feels okay, coming onto the fingertips. Breathing normally. If that's also okay, hands in namaskar. Or if you want, and only if it's comfortable, and this is a little stronger and a little harder to balance, so you might want to tuck your toes under, is you can raise the arms up. So we can have the hands in namaskar, or we can have the arms apart. Either option. And one more version here, and there's lots of different versions from here, but you can have your hands behind. Okay, then bending forward. So bringing your forehead down. Normal breathing. Okay. Now from here we're going to go into an easy version of pigeon. So we're just bringing our foot a little bit in front of the other hip. Okay, and we can just stay here. And this can be nice to get a nice stretch into the bottom especially. If this is okay, you can do a little twist. Okay. How far you go will depend on your comfort. And the other way. And then coming forward. And releasing. Okay, now coming down, we're going to bring our knee out to the side. You've already done this version before, so we don't need to stay in that. And then coming into easy cobra. And here we'll come into the Sphinx pose. And in the Sphinx pose, we're going to inhale and exhale, look over our shoulder. Inhale back to the front. Exhale, other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale back to the front. Holding your elbows, bring your chin down. Only if it feels comfortable for your neck, but this can have a really nice lengthening effect on your whole spine. Breathing normally. Okay, release. Now this is a good place where you could put Makarasan. What we're going to do, because you know Makarasan, is we're going to do Adavasan, the reverse corpse. So lowering the body down, palms together, you're going to bring your forehead into the ground, and then we're going to be lengthening. Okay, so forehead down, inhale, lengthening the arms, the legs away from each other. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. So now the other way. Knees bent. Now bring your knee underneath. Of course you can hold it for much longer. We're going to come up onto our hands. If that feels okay, come onto your fingertips. If that's also fine, into Namaskar or raising up. Breathing normally. And now bending forward. Okay, now moving into our easy pigeon. So where your foot is going to be in front of your opposite hip. Coming up onto the fingertips if it feels okay. And then twisting. And the other way. And bending forward. Slowly coming up. Can have the knees together or those other options with the knees apart. Walking your elbows away. And then bring your hands in front. So another version that we can do here is where we have our arm down and we're raising our arm up. A nice twist. If you want to intensify, you can bring the arm further away. You can also have the palm facing upward. And the other side. And coming back. Okay, so that's our Bhujangasan series with variations and additions. So it might be that you just add some of them depending on how your students are, or if they've overcome their back pain and they want to do some other things that are going to strengthen their back, then you can do many of those. As you've just experienced practicing it, some of them are simple and some of them are a little bit more demanding. Alright, so the next practice we're going to do is the half camel pose. Now the full camel pose is a little strong for the back, so we're going to do the half version. Starting with the simplest one. The simplest version is where we're just in Bhujangasan. We put our fingertips on the ground and we lift up. We inhale and exhale down. On the other side, inhale and exhale down. I like this one because it can be quite flowing and it's not as strong as coming up and back. We'll do that one too. Okay, making it a little easier by tucking the toes under. Slowly bringing one hand onto the heel, the other one is looking forward. So looking at the fingertips here, if that feels okay, then you can raise the arm. Breathing normally. And then release it. We'll try the other side. Holding onto the heel, looking forward. So especially if they've got neck issues, it's better to stay with this option. Otherwise, you can go all the way. And release. Once they're used to that and their back feels good, then you can have the feet down instead of the toes tucked under, and then eventually they can move into the full camel pose. Okay, now the next practice we're going to do is Vakrasan type 1, but it's a little different version. So here we want to be sitting upright, so you might need to lift the bottom and shuffle so that you can sit on your sit bones. Some might also need a little folded blanket underneath to just tilt the pelvis. And here what we're going to be doing is bending our right leg, placing it over our left. We're going to hold onto our foot and our other hand behind and looking over our shoulder. So this is just an easier version of a twisted pose, keeping the spine upright. You can close your eyes. Now inhale and exhaling, turning to the front, releasing your leg and to the other side. So bending your left leg, bring your hand onto your left foot, right hand around, turning your head, breathing normally. Inhale and exhale. Releasing your legs, shaking out your legs. Okay. And the last one we're going to do today is Shaytali Asan, which is Swami Satyananda calls it animal relaxation pose, but it's also known like as a cooling pose. This practice I teach a lot for back pain and also in pregnancy. It goes really nicely. So what we're going to do to start with is have our right foot behind and our left foot against our right thigh. And we're just going to start in this position. And this is a position you might go into, like, you know, if you're trying to do meditation and you want to hold the position for longer and you've been doing it but now your legs gone numb, so you swap your legs over, it still feels the same. Like you still have that numbness in the legs. So if you do this option where you bring your foot behind, it's just much easier for your body, and you get that little bit of relief on your legs. So it's a nice position to stay in. Automatically your spine will be upright. There isn't really a tendency to hunch very much with this position. So we're going to stay here to begin with, but we're going to do lots of different variations in this pose. So what we're going to do to start with is just a movement of the cat. So we exhale rounding, inhale open, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. So you'll be aware of that movement of your pelvis. Do this practice a lot in all the women's classes too. All right, now we're going to bring a hand onto our hip, other hand on the ground. Inhale, and this time I'm lifting my pelvis up towards my left knee and I'm looking over my shoulder. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, now we're going to do a nice side stretch. So inhaling, raising your right arm, exhaling to the left side, making sure to press the hip downward. Breathe normally here. Inhale up, exhale down. Now the other side, inhale and exhale. Won't go as far on this side. Inhale up, exhale down. All right, now twist. So inhale, exhale, twist. Inhale, exhale, other side. Inhale, exhale, relax. Okay, now what we're going to do is turn towards our left leg. Inhale, lifting your spine, and exhaling, sliding your hands down. And you might stay here, you might come further, You might do like an easy cobra, or you might have your forehead down. Breathing normally. We're aiming not to lift the bottom up high here. And releasing. All right, we'll swap over. Okay, so starting with the cat pose, so we exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale, relax. Hands on the hip, inhale, so look over your shoulder, exhale down. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, relax. Inhale, raising the left arm up, exhaling to the side, breathing normally. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale, raising your right arm, exhale, inhale, exhale down. Now twist. So inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale back to the front. Turn towards your right knee. Inhale, lifting your spine. Exhaling, slowly sliding your hands away and your forehead down or as far as it's comfortable to go. You can also have bolsters and things there. Breathing normally. Now exhale, inhale coming up. Okay, so these are some of the practices that we can be adding into our back pain classes or to build up with strengthening of the back. Also, of course, it's really important to have a lot of relaxation. So now we're going to do a little Shavasana. Now Shavasana isn't always comfortable for people with back pain. So today I'm going to get a bolster, or you could do Matsya Kridasan, the flapping fish, or Makarasan crocodile. So laying down, taking whichever position is comfortable for you. If you're in Shavasana, the palms facing upwards, you can tilt the head a little to your side, closing your eyes gently, taking a deep breath in and out, and again in and out, allowing your body to relax. Relax your face, all the muscles of your face, your eyes, nose, mouth, and jaw. Relax your forehead, the crown of your head, the back of your head, your neck and throat, your shoulders, chest, upper back, Relaxing the middle of your back and your lower back, your whole back. Relax your belly, your pelvis, your hips, your bottom, your thighs, knees, calf muscles, ankles, and feet. Feel your whole body relax from the crown of your head down to your toes. The whole front side of your body is relaxed. The whole back side of your body is relaxed. The whole right side. The whole left side. Your whole body. Now slowly preparing to release Shavasana, wriggling your fingers and toes, stretching out your body, stretch your toes, slowly rolling onto your side, and coming up. We'll finish with 3 Oms. Closing your eyes. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently opening our eyes. So along with all these practices, you also know pranayama, especially pranayama in Tadagasan, the pond pose, is going to be really beneficial. Definitely yoga nidras. With yoga nidras, you might have to adapt the position to make it a little bit more comfortable, and of course there's a whole range of other factors which are going to be impacting on the back. So hurry on.